The story of the fall of Lucifer according to the Bible. I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. You're probably already familiar with the story of the fall of Lucifer, from one of the highest-ranking angels in heaven to the literal embodiment of evil. But even though the fall of Lucifer is a significant event in Christianity, it is only talked about in short passages in the Old and New Testaments. So what really caused the once morning star to become the Prince of Darkness? Let's start with the names and meanings behind the ultimate villain of the Bible. The word Satan comes from Hebrew, meaning accuser or adversary, perfectly fitting for his role as a cosmic antagonist. But that's not his only name. He's also known as Lucifer, meaning shining one or light bearer, highlighting his once glorious status. In the book of Luke, he's called Beelzebub, the Lord of Flies, a name dripping with malice. And then there's the most popular name, Devil, derived from a word that means to slander or to attack, capturing his essence of throwing chaos into the mix. Even more poetic are the titles Daystar or Morning Star and Son of the Dawn from the book of Isaiah, reflecting his fall from the heights of heaven. Each name gives us a glimpse into the multifaceted nature of this dark figure. When you hear Lucifer fell from grace, it has a bit of ambiguity to it. What exactly did he fall from? And what was his original position? In the Bible, Satan isn't just given many names, he's also depicted in various terrifying forms. In Genesis 3, he appears as a cunning serpent, while Revelation 12 portrays him as a fearsome dragon. Some scholars even link him to the Leviathan, the monstrous water serpent mentioned in Job 41 and Isaiah 27:1. These depictions emphasize his ability to deceive, as highlighted in 2 Corinthians 11:14, where Satan disguises himself as the angel of light. Fast forward to today, and you'll find a mix of beliefs about Satan. Many people, including scholars, dismiss the idea of Satan as a literal being, seeing him instead as a mythical symbol of evil. However, in the context of the Old and New Testaments, Satan was considered a very real and formidable adversary, manifesting in different forms to challenge and corrupt humanity. To understand the fall of Lucifer, we need to consider the Old Testament sanctuary system. The tabernacle, and later the temple, were earthly representations of heaven and God's throne room. Everything in the tabernacle, down to the smallest detail, mirrored a greater heavenly reality and had to be crafted exactly as instructed in the Bible. The heart of the tabernacle was the most holy place, housing the Ark of the Covenant. The lid of the Ark, known as the mercy seat, featured two cherubs with outstretched wings. These cherubs symbolized the real ones serving in God's presence. When God was fully present, His glory, or Shekinah, appeared between these cherubs. Before his fall, Satan was one of these exalted cherubs, serving directly in God's throne room. In Ezekiel, the Lord addresses Satan as a king of Tyre, describing his former glory. You were an anointed guardian cherub, and later, guardian cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. Satan once held the esteemed position of ministering in the very presence of God, highlighting the magnitude of his fall from grace. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall. That's a verse from the book of Proverbs, which I believe the idiom pride goes before a fall was coined from. Both have some correlation to Lucifer and his fall from grace. So what is the reason for the fall of Satan? Ezekiel 28 paints a vivid picture of Satan's original perfection and his tragic fall. Described as a signet of perfection, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty, Satan was initially blameless and stunningly adorned. But this perfection didn't last. His downfall began with pride. His beauty went to his head, corrupting his wisdom and leading to irreverent and violent thoughts. Deceit crept into his actions, and he sinned. Isaiah 14 adds more to this dramatic tale. Shifting from addressing the king of Babylon to Satan himself, it exclaims, "How you are fallen from heaven, O Daystar, son of dawn." Satan's ambitions knew no bounds. He wasn't content with his exalted position among the angels, often symbolized as stars in the Bible. He wanted to elevate himself above the other angels, ruling over them. And even that wasn't enough. Satan's ultimate desire was to ascend God's throne and make himself equal to God. This insatiable ambition and pride led to his catastrophic fall from grace. In the book of Luke, when Jesus' disciples went to minister to people, came back and told him, "Even the demons submit to us in your name." Jesus himself testified, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven," which depicts a powerful image of Satan's dramatic descent. Revelation 12 takes us further, depicting Satan as a dragon. This isn't a metaphor left to interpretation. Verse 9 makes it clear, referring to the dragon as the ancient serpent, who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. This multi-headed dragon imagery also echoes the Leviathan mentioned in Psalm 74:14. Isaiah 27:1 further connects Satan to the serpent dragon, reinforcing the terrifying nature of his rebellion and fall. The dragon in Revelation uses his tail to drag a third of the stars, which are angels, as we explained earlier, from heaven, casting them to earth with him. While this imagery is symbolic, it's rich with meaning. In prophetic language, a tail can represent deceit, as Isaiah 9:15 describes the lying prophet as a tail. Jesus called Satan the father of lies in John 8:44, suggesting that Satan's lies deceived a third of the heavenly angels, leading to their fall alongside him. Satan's fall had to occur before the creation of humanity, as he appears in Eden as a serpent. True to his deceptive nature, he tempted Eve by exploiting the same ambition he had, to rise above his station. He promised Eve that she and Adam could be like God, knowing good and evil. This cunning lie led to humanity's fall, continuing Satan's rebellion and corrupting influence among God's creations. Satan's fall meant he and the other fallen angels were no longer residents of heaven, but it didn't completely cut off their access. Various Bible passages suggest that Satan could still enter heaven to challenge and debate issues. For instance, in Job 1 and 2, Satan appears in a heavenly council among the sons of God, a term often referring to angels. Another example is in Jude 1:9, where Michael and Satan argue over the body of Moses, likely in a heavenly setting. Revelation 12 provides a detailed account of these celestial conflicts. It describes a war breaking out in heaven, which might not be a physical battle, but rather a war of words. The term war comes from the Greek word polemos, from which we get polemics, indicating an intense debate. Michael and his angels ultimately defeat Satan and his followers, stripping them of their right to access the heavenly realms for further arguments and accusations. This pivotal event likely occurred when Jesus ascended to heaven and took his rightful place as ruler as stipulated in Revelation 12:5. Satan, driven by his pride and desire for Jesus' position, was banished permanently. Though he could once argue his case in heaven, the final judgment left no longer any place for them in heaven. Satan and his fallen angels were decisively expelled, ending their access to the heavenly courts. From the biblical narrative, we can piece together the reasons for Satan's fall. He deceived a third of the angels, leading to their collective descent to earth. Even after his fall, Satan had some access to heavenly places where he engaged in debates and laid charges against the saints. The ultimate fate of Satan and his fallen angels is outlined in Revelation 20. Their final destination is the lake of fire, a future event that will occur after the millennium. During this 1,000-year period, Satan will be bound in chains, only to be cast into the lake of fire afterwards. This marks the definitive end of Satan's rebellion and his influence, concluding his tragic tale of pride, deceit, and downfall. And there you have it, the story of the fall of Lucifer according to the Bible. What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments section. Until next time,